Competitive Melee is so often surrounded by layers of game plans and strategies. Players will plan for characters, plan for players, plan for venues, and even plan for the multitude of factors that might affect mentality or gameplay prior to the set even beginning. And when we look at gameplay, sometimes these plans seem simple. Fox players up throw up air Jigglypuff. Marth mains get 4 openings on Spacey players on Final Destination and take the game. And Donkey Kong players prepare for 7 up airs and a Donkey Punch that will make the whole venue pop off.
DJ Spencer, he's at the Jeopardy set! No way! Fish! Fish! Fish!
Is it happening?
Fish!
Is it happening?
Fish!
Oh, you missed it before! Junebug gets it!
You gotta be kidding me! Junebug shuts it down!
But in reality, Melee is so far from a solved game. There's no player whose dominance remained unsolvable, no matchup unwinnable, and every set has an opportunity to change history. When top-level Melee presents walls that seem unbreakable, it takes risk and creativity to break through. For some players, the answers lie in character choice. Secondaries and tertiaries can bring a surprise that catches the other player off guard and shifts a matchup in their favor. For others, they look for answers in Smash that move beyond gameplay and revolve around who we are on the big stage. How many times have you sat down for a set in bracket and realized that you can't play with your phone in your pocket or without your favorite music, or if your chair is angled in a weird way? Sometimes our answers to difficult sets are found before the announcer even says go. However, not every solution is successful. Even after 2 decades, have created a space where truths are challenged and risk can make the difference between the bracket run of a lifetime and a salty GG's tweet out at 4th place. I am a little biased for character switches in Melee. I think the shock and surprise from the crowd reactions
This has been theorized for months!
capture my own excitement to see a player look into their character roster for an alternative answer to the challenge that awaits them. Especially at the top level, where the best players have thousands of hours and singular characters, being able to contend with or even be victorious with a multitude of the cast is a testament of the fundamentals and understanding of both the matchups at play and the player you're playing against. But aside from the well-known dual mains in Melee history, there are players who have a reputation for being great with the entire cast. Let's think about the Pikachu veteran axe. Axe is a perennial top 100 player, up as far as top 5 and top 10, with top 100 level wins with his Pikachu, Fox, Falco, Marth, and Young Link. But why would he even need to play these characters? It begins with understanding where Pikachu stands in the metagame of Melee, with most tier lists placing him anywhere from the 7th to 10th best character out of the 26 characters in Melee. Pikachu is no doubt strong. However, this electric rat has matchups like Jigglypuff, Peach, and Ice Climbers that stand to give Axe an incredibly tough time, even if the rankings or evaluation of overall skill is sided in Axe's favor. Some of you may remember Armada, one of the best Peaches of all time, who holds a daunting 12-0 record over Axe using only Peach. Axe has given several other characters a try against Armada, notably games with Young Link and Falco that he was not able to pull out, but were still a good try nonetheless, to look to the cast to solve one of Melee's toughest players. Similarly, Hungrybox holds a staggering 28-1 over Axe. A top 10 player for most of his career as well, Axe's only set win was back in 2014 at MLG Anaheim. This time, we have seen Axe play a mix of Pikachu, Fox, Young Link, Falco against Hungrybox, taking him to Game 5 multiple times, and even most recently at the Big House 11 and the later half of 2023, a Game 5 close match with Axe's Fox, he almost took it. But Axe isn't the only one who faces demons and looks to characters to help solve his puzzles. In 2023, we got to see the best Yoshi player in the world, a top 5 memorable Yoshi by the name of aMSa, seek answer to the difficult question of how do you beat Puff on Final Destination. And his answer? To move to a much more shine-heavy character, Falco. This Falco was a far cry from the red dinosaur we were used to, but it shocked the crowd and viewers alike and gave an insight at what aMSa was cooking to help solve this long-standing issue of Puff on Final Destination. This train of thought of solving puzzles in Melee isn't all failures though. Players have taken that character swap success to strong victories as well. I've already mentioned the predominant dual mains in our top level scene, such as Mango, PPMD, Mewtwo, but even players like Axe has numerous set victories with his roster over people like Wobbles, the Ice Climbers, with his Marth, his Falco, his Young Link, and his Fox, on top of his Pikachu. And even smaller time counter picks once in a set, like his Young Link versus Mango's Marth on FD, results in a battle that gives him not only a game victory, but sets him up for an almost Game 5 set over Mango. But not every player has the entire cast to choose from. Most are character specialists at the highest level of bracket. However, that doesn't stop top players from occasionally exploring their pockets for counterpicks the crowd would never expect. Mango, for example, would go Marth versus Armada and Leffen numerous times as ways to capitalize on the benefits of the Marth Peach or Marth Fox matchups. Mewtwo would explore Dittos against Leffen's Fox and Hungrybox's Puff to make use of the mirroring of both characters' incredible tools and to try and match and slow down the momentum of the set. Melee isn't a game that solely revolves around counterpicks, and when character counterpicks become too powerful, sets will occur where both players are playing some or all of the set as characters other than their mains. With Leffen's success against Sheik against Zain, for example, Zain would try out and partially succeed in battling Leffen's answer to Marth with his Ice Climbers. And on the topic of Ice Climbers, Mewtwo would find himself in a tough situation where the Ice Climbers Chudat would force the King of the Mews off of Marth and onto a growing list of possible answers, culminating in a Game 3 victory with Ganon for Mewtwo. However, knowing Mewtwo would be picking Ganon again allowed Chudat to take the Game 4 and the set by counterpicking Fox, taking the set in a much more Fox-favored matchup, 3-1. But what if characters aren't the answer? What can you do? Melee history has given us many approaches to how a player plays the game that come into effect before the match even starts. Take, for example, Shine 2016. You are SFAT in the loser's side of Grand Finals against Mewtwo. After a great run back to Grand Finals, you are staring down a god of the game, a player who you have beaten once prior to this meeting and who had already beaten you once earlier in the bracket. The odds are stacked against you, and you don't really main any other characters. So what can you do? If you chose option D, you would be correct. To try and solve the momentum of Mewtwo, having what was then seen as a free win on FD if he loses a game, SFAT shocked Mewtwo, as well as the world, when he willingly struck to this stage in Grand Finals. And I can see the vision. Melee is a game about momentum, and if you win a game and are forced to be put into an almost guaranteed loss, why not get that loss out of the way early? You can bounce back, have a better shot at other stages, and you even get to practice your FD Fox play for the next time you get counterpicked to it. And it didn't work out. And Mewtwo would 3-0 him to win the tournament.
Rats.
But finding answers and becoming the best you can be cannot happen without failure. And now let's head back to 2023, the most stacked tourney of all time, the Big House 11. Sometimes when winning doesn't work, what if the answer is to lose? Cue round 1 of top 64. In a tourney already ripe with upsets, Cody Schwab found himself against the Green Samus Morse Code. Morse Code is a top 50 demon who has already taken huge names like J-Moog and almost took down Mango this year as well. The now number 1 would only take one game, going down 3-1 and sinking to one of the scariest losers brackets of all time. Now for most, this would spell doom for the tournament run and foresee a plethora of tweets explaining the reasons behind the loss. But for Cody Schwab, this loss would ignite an answer and desire to win that we might not have seen in the winner's side. He would make his way into day 3, taking out Chango and the Real Thing, and in top 24 would add in several new characters to his defeated warpath, beating the Puff Faust, the Peach Polish, and Golden Guardians Falcon None to make top 8. Rest in peace, Golden Guardians. But he didn't lose in round 1 to get 7th place. Instead, he would use his winner's bracket loss to create an argument for one of the best losers runs of all time, 3-0ing the Clutch God H-Box, taking down Melee's Mitochondria, Zain, and a nail-biter game 5.
Zain's in. Down tilt. Oh, that's gonna do it! That's gonna do it! Kirby knocks the big dogs in!
And even beating one of his few bracket demons, Mango, in a dominant 3-1 set to make it to Grands against the ever-dominant Plup. And it wouldn't matter if Cody got 2-stocked in game 1, or 3-stocked in game 3. For a great player finds answers even when there isn't one in Melee.
This is damage, 80-0 right now. There's nice connect. What's it gonna be? Waves on aMSa, 150. You can't live that.
Cody Schwab, can you just say the names one more time for me, Cole? Tell me what just happened in the last 2 days after Cody was sent to losers by
Morse Code.
It's
Samus
like
at the beginning.
128
That's
or something
right.
like that.
And defeating Faust. I gotta press back on my browser button right now. Hang on a minute. The thing is loading. You literally have to navigate to so many pages.